Welcome back to glorious Poznan, Poland. You're joining us live here from the Poznan Game Arena, and this is the Continental Rumble, and a rumble it has been. But what would a rumble be without a good dose of spectacle? So what we've got lined up for you next is just that. We are going to go for around 35 minutes of no-holds-barred action between two absolute powerhouses in the World of Tanks world. Yes, indeedy. A team, Kazna crew, very well supported, that everybody loves and could have also made their way here, will go up against a favorite that we've already seen, NaVi. Yes, they'll duke it out. But not just in any way. We were watching Tier 8 action all day so far. Let's turn up the volume on crazy. We're going to show you Tier 10 action right now. So, no more messing around. Let's do this. Let's invite these guys out to show you what they can do right now. Please, pause and put your hands together with me and invite to the stage none other than Kazna crew and NaVi. It is nice to see you again. I feel like we've done this before today. How are you feeling this time round?
I'm with it better because we have won and we are happy. And I think we can win this team.
Is there a little bit of fun on the line here? I have to ask, sir, thank you so much for joining us. Up against NaVi, what are you thinking?
We're gonna win, of course.
Oh, a little bit. Is there? Oh.
We just learned the new rules right now behind the stage, so easy win.
Some rule changes of stuff on the line. Gentlemen, I have to say, is there any kind of wager we can perhaps get you to take part in? Anything you want to put on the line? Anything you'd like to put on the line? A bet?
A bet? I cannot ask you, or I cannot say you right now.
I say the winner buys the other team drinks. How does that sound? Gentlemen, shake hands. And of course, for all the production staff I'm hearing in my ear right now, very well put. Guys, this is going to be fantastic. This is going to be Tier 10 action. These are two absolutely firecrackers of a teams going head-to-head here for spectacle for your show at the Continental Rumble. You're going to want to watch this. Once again, guys, please put your hands together for these two fantastic teams, NaVi and Kazna crew. Guys, I'm going to let you get warmed up, and we're going to head over to see the guys at the desk.
Now, how do we analyze a spectacle? It's the sort of thing that it was really carefully chosen word, spectacle, because we just heard that there's a change of rules. It's no longer going to be a best of 5, it's going to be a best of 30 minutes. Attack, defense, defense, attack. In that order, 2 battles per map, and get through as many maps and as many battles as we can, playing with Tier 10 tanks. Now, Melly, that means it's a little bit changing rules, isn't there?
Yes, I mean, I said before that it can only be maximum 3 on one side, but I'll reset the vote right now so people, you don't have to complain. We're on your side. So just predict the score of the match and guess how many rounds we're seeing.
Try and say like each battle will take about 5 minutes. You got 30 minutes, 1 minute in between. Try and guess, and then good luck. Seriously, good luck.
That's too much calculation for me today. People, get involved. Head over to facebook.com/WGLEU. Our team vote is already up and running. As said, I will reset the already handed in submissions, so everyone will have a new fresh start and all the same chances for everyone. So people, get involved. Have a wild guess. Maybe it will be 17-0. Maybe it will be 5-3. It depends on how fast the teams are, how long they take in between rounds. But probably it will something around 5-ish.
I hope so. Now, I think we have to get Twitter involved here. Hashtag Rumble, WGL, hashtag YOLO, hashtag I hope, hashtag banana.
Hashtag stop.
Banana or bandana?
Banana.
Oh no, please. The Team Camo Challenge is still on. So
oh yeah,
on Facebook, there is a post pinned on top of the timeline. Just get involved. There are a lot of prizes on the line. The WGL Amix and 25 bonus codes with gold, Premium?
59.
Yeah, no, stop.
Type
I
59 with
I
each
love my
code.
job. Please don't fire me. There are not 25 Type 59s. Nico, if you see that, it was my idea. But 25 bonus codes containing gold, premium, and the premium tank. I think it. Well, let's see. Tier 3. Yeah, tier 3 is nice. That's at least my call. And 75 bonus codes with gold and premium. So get involved. People love the Team Camo. Around 85% would start to play with it right away.
That was actually what I was going to say. I remember before the break, I was like, there's one more thing I want to say about the Kazna crew, and I couldn't remember it until just then. Are they going to have black and white camo? They're going to look like street racers.
No, they will have pink-blue.
Pink, that still would be pretty epic, I think. Seeing Elian ride around in a pink and
Russ
blue.
is
I'm in
like,
favor
what
of
are
the
you
color pink.
talking about,
It will be
woman?
total black, of course.
Total black?
Yes.
Just like the Knights?
Yes.
Or with dots of white, so
With
it's like
dots,
stars.
yeah.
It looks like
Yes.
stars.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful.
That'd be good. Or they're going to have neon lights so they look like they're streetcar racers. That'd be quite funny.
Oh,
I would buy that. I would put that on my
or
tank.
Tron tanks.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Moneymaker idea right there. If you want Tron
why I'm
tanks,
here.
put it in the feedback. Still, just spitballing here. Let's have a few guesses ourselves. Now, we think it might be still best of 5, but I'm actually going to say that only 4 games will go down because they like picking the right consumables and stuff like that. So I'm going to think it's going to be best of 4, and I think it's going to go 2-all. It's going to be a draw because it can be. What about you?
I think it will be 4 games and Kazna crew will win them all.
Oh,
4-0.
4-0. Gauntlet down.
I'll go 5-0 Kazna crew.
All right, I'm going to go like 7-0 NaVi just to counter both.
7-0. Are you sure? 7-0?
Hey, me and the Lux have like a deal on the side.
I see
Can't
what
say
you
anything about it yet, but you know.
So I go for 2. I think I'm the only one taking this seriously. I
But
don't know.
You're pulling us out of our comfort zone, you know? We're like, oh, okay.
So it is 6 tier 10s and 1 tier 9? Or, no,
No,
I've done
it's,
the maths wrong. 1
7,
tier 8 or
We should stop
Teams can pick
counting,
what they
it
want to
doesn't
do.
work.
Either they bring a tier 8 tank or they bring
2 tier
5
9s.
tier 10s and 2 tier 9s. So you have a lot of variation.
what would be the, let's try and think, what would you take? What sort of lineup? I mean, you're on the spot here a bit, so don't take this too seriously.
On mine?
Yeah, on mine's
You
first
need
now.
some hold down tanks and quick hold down tanks. For example, an IS-7 is a good hold down tank. You need some tanks with a good turret, 140 T62A. You can use a Batchat to get up the hill quickly because he usually gets there before mediums. A 263 is really fast, can also work on mines. And then some teams prefer maybe like an M40, 43 because you have a tier 8 tank now, so you can play with 6 tier 10s. Or just maybe 2 T54s with heat, for example, that could also work because T54s with heat are really strong as well. So we'll probably see RT somewhere. Maybe not today, but somewhere in the future.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I also agree with some of the things. I think that also an E4 on E3 can be really useful. Like E3 is like impossible to penetrate from high distance. So if you, for example, defend, I could imagine an E3 is possible. But then, yeah, of course you need, if you want, you obviously need the hill on mine. So you need medium tanks at least. I would say 2-3 minimum. Then, yeah, you need heavy tanks. I think actually the E100 might be a really good choice as well. You have 750 alpha
The problem with
damage.
E100 is the turret is not as good. For example, if you have the hill, the IS-7 is perfectly hold down in there. Well, the E100, the flat surface is penetratable with heat by all tanks.
But if you have, for example, camp, you can just let them come up.
yeah, but you
Then
still have
don't
the
need to
shell
peek.
travel time. It's not that easy.
But
we'll
on the
probably
small
see some
distance, I
E100
think it
somewhere.
doesn't matter. Like, I think E100 as defender is really powerful.
I don't think you can camp that well with tier 10s and RT. I mean, we'll see. I
Yes,
think,
but below the hill, no RT can reach the E100.
well, if you take one line, then RT can.
I mean, if it already goes like this at a desk,
can't
I
wait to see
really
what's going
can't
on there.
wait to see the match.
All right, well, that's some insights. I reckon it's just going to be, I don't know, 6 Batchats and 1 tier 8. Doesn't matter. Just drive at them, shoot like mad. It works with Clan Wars. So that's half a Clan Wars strategy right there. Let's talk about Clan Wars. This is where we mostly see it tier 10s, isn't it?
made it to Gold Series.
I've been in Absolute once. Twice for like a battle, maybe. But no, in seriousness, Batchat is very, very, very common, and E100s in Clan Wars. That's 15 versus 15, and this is a different landscape completely. But how different is it? Are we going to see some sort of variations of Clan War tactics at all?
I think you might see small parts of it, certain pushes, for example, or certain positions. But I think 6 batch shots, for example, wouldn't work because these teams are too good for that. I don't think you'll be able to get all 5 shots off in every single batch shot. And when you're reloading, T62As and 140s will just be shooting you the entire time with HE even and penetrate you. But we'll be seeing the same tanks as in Clan Wars, where we see the E5, the E100, I7, IS4, well, T62A, 140. We'll be seeing all those tanks. We'll be seeing less of Leopards, MX-30Bs and stuff because they're not that great compared to their Russian comparants or their American. Like the E5 is just an amazing heavy tank. It has speed, it has armor, it has everything. I7 is a good hold-down tank. Then the Russian mediums are good hold-down tanks as well. So we'll be seeing the same tanks, maybe even a Conqueror GC. I would love to see Slide get one-shot by a Conqueror and see how he reacts.
But I think if you refer to Luke's question again, I don't think you will see any tactics at all from Clan Wars. I think you will rather see the tactics from 754 with tanks. Like you have a lot of, you actually can choose from a lot of tier 10s. In tier 8 you don't have that much options, but in tier 10s you can, for example, use a position where you had a tier 8, then use a tier 10 that's even suited better for that position. So I think we will see 7-on-7, 754 tactics with tier 10 tanks.
The issue is RT. The issue is just RT because a lot of teams will bring tier 8 RT. You know, like you have 8 tier points, you can bring an RT. You have 9 tier points, you can still bring an RT, which dominates those camping positions, for example. You can't be hold down without RT.
But you had the same issue in 754 where you can bring an M44.
Yeah, but an M44 with heat, like now you have HE that does 700 damage without actually hitting the tank. So you don't actually have to hit him, you can just splash next to him. With heat you actually have to hit and penetrate, which was one of the biggest issues.
But if you go higher than tier 8, you can also say that in 754 you could also take a tier 8 RT.
Yeah, but that's just a huge risk. Well, now it's less of a risk. It's still a risk.
I would disagree. If you take a Conqueror RT, the tier 10 one, the British one, it still is a risk.
Yeah, but that's why you'll see M40s, M40-43, does 700 damage to tier 10s as well with splash.
Yeah, that's true, but it has a lot of reload. So
yeah, but if you can, like, 3 shots take a hold-down tank out of his position, it will work.
Yeah, I disagree.
I think we will see the same tactics in the beginning, but we'll have a meta change after where people try different things because new things open up, lineups are different, view range are different, everything will be different.
Can I just ask this one thing? Melly, did you understand any of that?
No.
Okay, good. Me too. Because Ollie, do you agree with any of these tactics?
Ollie, how are you feeling about that? I think we need to take those two outside to get them to calm down. Feisty on that desk. Daki's having none of it, yeah. Give him a little cool-down bath or something, I don't know. But what are your thoughts, actually? Because, you know, it was a big point on the desk, the analysis kind of breaking down the theory of artillery. Will it be, what sort of place will it have here? How much prominence will it have? How do you feel about the matter now? Because obviously tier 10 does open up a vast amount of possibilities.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many tier 10 tanks in the game. It's such a different kind of game style. And I think what it might be is just a smaller version of Clan Wars where you have those things where you can go all in or you have a more like standard tactic. So I think it's going to be really interesting.
Well, theories aside, I think it's time. Ladies and gents, get ready for Mines.
Mines, a small summertime map with lots of hills, rocks and other cover. The teams start the battle in the usual locations. But the base locations are different. One is located in the bottom part of the village, and the other one is in the water. The key directions here are the hill and the island. That's why the teams will often select fast vehicles and tanks with strong turrets.
Welcome into Mines. Ollie, I want you to take a look at this one. This is down to you. Obviously, Kazna starting out on the defending side. Daki looks smug as hell, so you might be right about this. But what do we see so far?
Yeah, so we've got the M40, M43. I think that's a pretty logical choice here for NaVi. Maybe a little bit strange that they put it on the attack, but actually, I mean, in Clan Wars, we see that kind of pick up more with an M50, M53. But, I mean, you could do so much damage against the tanks that are sitting down in F or G line, but, you know, Kazna have got a super fast setup.
Yeah, they do, and they're going in for the battle straight away. Vetso going to be on the receiving end, but look at that. Inspira just about slipping up towards the hill, but Slide going to get first blood here, taking down Superstar Alien. Already NaVi taking the lead.
Yeah, but Kirilov taking a lot of damage, and FKK Schnitzel is finally in the action with their IS-7. It's such a brutal tank in a hold-down position.
Let's see what he can do with it here. Rhino's going to make it hurt. Stefan goes down. That's 2 removed for Kazna. NaVi holding their numbers. Kirilov's a little low, but he's got backup here, and Vetso now receiving that IS-7 just going walkabouts. He knows he can bear the brunt of this, but Inspira is certainly dealing damage, and Schnitzel's just gone for a little bit of a walk away. He's like, all right, let me just park right in the middle of you guys. And now look at this. Kazna is getting shredded. Yeah,
I think Kazna crew are just kind of having a little bit of a mare here, but I mean, they're obviously just going aggressive. They're not obviously playing 100% serious here. Inspira trying to do as much damage, and he has done a lot of damage from the hill. The M40, M430, M43, 430 has got a great rate of fire there. Inspira does take down Yizny, and Vetso falls last. And it'll be Kazna crew to lose their first round.
NaVi, strong as ever, and I guess for Kazna's sake, thank God they didn't make it here. That's a bit of an embarrassing beginning. That was, did they get one kill? I think they got one or two.
Yeah, I got a couple there. Anatolik and Slide fell in the 140 in the MX-50B.
Well, that's not a great display, but, you know, hopefully for our sakes, considering, you know, Kazna are actually an EU team, they do better than that. I pray to sweet Kazna Jesus that they decide to turn up, because NaVi just looked comfortable. That was just, you know, mouse running their way to victory.
Yeah, Kazna just YOLO'd in the middle and didn't play at all, to be honest.
Elian was like, yeah, we've got a plan. Was that your plan, Elian? I hope not.
Yeah. Well, I mean, here's the thing, right? So when the 770 test was happening, or yeah, I think it was the 770 before the 768 was decided upon, Penta won against NaVi 5-2. So, I mean, NaVi aren't indestructible on this lineup, on this 768, you know, this tier 10 kind of setup. So, I mean, anything can happen here. The meta hasn't been at all established, hasn't even been started. I mean, the teams only found out very recently about the changes to the World of Tanks esports scene, and of course, you guys just found out at home today on your various portals around the world. So, I mean, this is brand new stuff. You get to have a little bit of a flavor. I mean, you're not supposed to take it too seriously. It's just a show match of what you can expect in the Wargaming League Europe and around the world for Season 2 at least. So it's going to be really interesting.
Yeah.
And I'm looking forward to seeing what happens.
Yeah, you and me both. But let's actually break this down then, because if, let's say, people just watch the WGLEU, they don't follow or have the time to play as much tanks as some of the others out there. What's the most prolific difference you'd assume going up to tier 10? Are we going to see longer battles, quicker battles, faster engagements? You know, time to kill, is that going to be extended? You know, higher damage, higher HP? What are the main effects we're going to see, at least in esports terms? Yeah,
time to kill is definitely going to increase, because you're talking about tanks with a lot more HP and a lot more armor, and you know, just depending on the tank as well, penetration is not guaranteed. Like when you're shooting against tier 8 tanks, you got a good chance with another tier 8 tank to penetrate. But if you're shooting tier 10 tanks with tier 10 tanks, you know, you do really have to aim. Doesn't matter what ammo you're using. Like, you can't just shoot at the front of an E3 necessarily, even with the highest penetration guns like the 263. So you have all these kind of things that come into the equation. Yeah, I think the games are going to be slightly longer, and you know, tier 10s is like it's a game of extremes. You have, you know, tanks that just do ridiculous damage, tanks that do ridiculous DPM, and then everything in the middle as well. So I mean, you got a much more variation. You're much more variation. Whereas tier 8, it's like everything's really close. All the tanks are fairly similar with their own like unique style. You know, one tank's very good at one thing, one tank's very good all round. Whereas at tier 10, you have a lot more variation. So I think it's going to be really interesting to see the lineups and the tactics that come out because of them.
See, I think that's the main thing. I think we're going to get some interesting choices here. Like, what are we seeing? So break us down what we've got, some choices coming through here.
So we've got the Type 5 Heavy, which is a brand new Japanese tier 10 heavy tank. Rhino, I mean, it's fitting for his name. It's just an absolute beast, and I love those camos. They're just fantastic, especially on the HD tanks of Kazna crew. The black and white is just beautiful. And that's, you know, the tier 10 tank, a light tank on the hill, the Batchat, one of my favorite tanks. I think I got like 700 battles on that one. Especially in tier 9, it was amazing. But you can see Kazna crew also, they had to have an artery. They've gone for the double T54 light, which was something which the Killzor predicted. You got great penetration with the heat, and also just a very nice tank to play all around. Fantastic all rounder. Definitely the best tier 9 tank of choice, in my opinion, especially if you're going for the mediums. Levshar playing that M40, and just a little bit of exchange on the island.
Yep, yeah, I'm totally going to be going for that one. I'm kind of hoping Kazna do manage to pull something off here, because it was quite embarrassing before, for our sakes. But yeah, I'm totally not going to find much here. And what do we make of the artillery so far? Do you think we're going to see more of this? Is that going to become a mainstay? Do you think that's why the additions Hive is in a bit of trouble here? But still, we can come back to that point. Discussion-wise, will artillery become more of a prominent piece? Will that be a standard per lineup?
I think so, because, I mean, you got a tier 8 tank to choose, right? So, I mean, why there's not really that many tier 8 tanks that are particularly strong against tier 10 tanks. Right. So artillery is a logical choice because you can actually do some serious damage.
Can we just appreciate the fact that there's a man called Rhino in a Rhino? It's amazing. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. This is fantastic. It's like a battleship. A battleship has just kind of come ashore on mines and is making its way through. Rhino living up to the reputation. 620 damage being dealt. It certainly does a lot of damage in Kazna once again, just being crumpled. I'm a little embarrassed, boys. Come on, for EU's pride. I know it's a show match, but you don't need to show yourself up. And now Schnitzel and Vetso, the last two alive. What's going wrong with these boys?
Well, I think, you know, NaVi just rolling over Kazna crew right now. Obviously, Kazna, you know, not exactly having the best of matches. No. To be fair, I don't think Eurofish really was the greatest pick in the artillery. I mean, the 261 is all and good, but the thing is about it's not accurate enough to be able to say, okay, we're going to pick it because we know you can hit like so many shells. In my opinion, you should just pick one of those artilleries where it can do a lot of damage. You have to pick a lot of tier 8, you have to spend a lot of tier points on, but you're still going to do some damage, and if you don't, it's not a big deal. Whereas the 261 is like a tier 10 tank, so you know.
Yeah. So let's predict the scoreline here, because this is looking like NaVi are just having fun with this. Let's be honest. It doesn't seem to be stopping. What scoreline are we going for here, Ollie? What do you reckon?
Well, it's not best of anything. We're playing
exactly.
We're playing until
how far
until
do you
6 o'clock, basically, or as close to as we can until the teams have to set up. I would say, I mean, NaVi coming off 2 wins, 1 win and a loss, but at least 1 win. They got 3rd place in the bag. Thing is, it's like we don't even know. I mean, let's be honest here. Kazna crew and NaVi, they haven't played World of Tanks Esports at tier 10. Both of them. They've played some show matches. They've played some tests and stuff like that. But they're pretty much on the same level. Both teams have played high-level clan wars. They've got all the kind of accolades that come with clan wars. Obviously, you know, Kazna crew being the most famous and you know the biggest name in World of Tanks Europe, and NaVi. All in a big clan in Russia as well. I can't remember what the name is. It'll come to me at some point. But they've also played clan wars. They've also got all the accolades. So they've got like the same amount of experience in tier 10. So I think it's pretty even. It just depends on which team just concentrates and just plays the better team.
And let's remember, NaVi of course have played 2 games today already. So they're pretty warmed up. They're used to the stage. Have been playing on their usual par. Let's say whether or not you feel as though they should have finished 3rd is beyond the point. They've still played 2 games, whereas Kazna look like they've just got out of bed, to be fair.
I think they have.
They literally have. I don't think they even got jeans on. They look like pyjamas when they walked out. So might just be a little bit snoozy, just waking up a little bit. They know they've got a long way to go, so maybe just getting some false confidence with NaVi to start with. And then they're going to be like, all right, let's play. They've been working out tactics since they've been back home, clearly. No going out, staying in the hotel room. Very serious stuff.
Yeah, super serious, No, nothing happened, you know. They're just being serious, got the tactics down, knew they were going to play the show match.
Daki looks smug. What's he done?
Yeah, I mean, I knew it came to me. I was just about to say it's Kop and Daki, a big Russian clan which NaVi participates in, along with like all the Russian players.
See, I'm going to put you on the desk, and I'm going to put him over here soon if you're not careful.
No, I predicted the Tornado Rocks game
correctly. You guessed.
No, I knew it.
Nah,
you can't. That's rubbish because if someone gets something right, and you say you guessed. It's not true.
Ollie, you just made it up.
No.
You just made it up.
You could say that about anything.
You made it up.
It's
made it up.
I'm not that.
You didn't even give me theory behind it. I was like, Ollie, give me a score. And you just made up 2 numbers.
I'm not like that squidder who managed to predict the World Cup like almost every round.
Oh yeah, you're like the little squid that like picks the right one.
Yeah.
Is that it? Is that your ability?
No, that's not me.
I like the way we're doing some really in-depth analysis here. I'm glad the teams are taking their time. Let's go, guys.
So, I mean, it was 1 attack, 1 defense, and now we're going to move on to Ghost Town. It's the same map pool as we have in the normal regular Wargaming League. I mean, we'll have a look at the lineups real quick. And
what do we have?
I get to see, I mean, the E100 just featured extensively on the side of Kazna crew.
Okay.
Tanker free XP for 600,000 free experience when it first came out. Regretted the decision pretty quickly, but actually decided to like it at some point. Along with the Conqueror, the British tier 9, and the E75, the German tier 9.
Are we actually going to see British tanks coming out now?
Yeah, apart from that one time the Carnarvon, we haven't really seen it.
No. Who was it who brought that out? Was it Team Supreme?
That was Ron playing that thing. Or maybe FC Dynamo or someone. Yeah, it was Team Supreme.
It was on Ruinberg, wasn't it?
Yeah.
No, I do recall. Anyway, into the game we go. This, as you may have noticed, isn't as serious as normal. We are just kind of sitting here talking nonsense. But we can break down a little what we're seeing. So what do you make of the E100s literally rolling out together? That camo looks great,
but that's the thing. I think what Kazna Crew has done is just gone for the HD tanks, the best looking one. The mouse is a bit square, so I mean HD is not really showing off. The E100 is, and the camo just looks gorgeous.
It does look really sexy. I quite like that.
E-demo on the side. I think that's
fair, so does NaVi. I like NaVi's one as well. I don't know if I prefer NaVi's or if I prefer Kazna's. God, better get an AOC monitor if I'm talking about that. And G2A's never had so much promotion in their life. But no, I don't know which one do you prefer, Kazna or NaVi?
Well, I mean E100, 750 damage. Shell travel time is pretty slow. Penetration's 332. So I mean it's okay. It definitely does the damage, but Kazna just going to push out into Inspiro.
Yeah, Inspiro just getting beaten down there. 2 shells back to back, and look at him. He's left in ruins as finally Hyper's going to draw first blood in the 75. But it is looking pretty decent so far for Kazna. They're doing pretty good here, blow for blow. Nice fought. Certainly looking a little small compared to the Conqueror, but doing the work it needs to. Rhino downgrading from the battleship that he had in the last game, and he will pick up Elia.
Such stunning shells coming out from that E100. It's a 15 centimeter. I'm not sure. Obviously, I'll get corrected by someone. But yeah, I mean, Kazna Crew just doing a pretty good job right now. I mean, they have so much HP to play around with because there's E100s, 2,500 per tank. So I mean, they're just wrecking NaVi.
To be fair, the HP we're currently at for Kazna is pretty much how we start in kind of our standard games currently. Yeah. So a little bit different, of course, as Schnitzel should be able to find the Anatolish as he does. So. Yeah, I'm tempted to call Kazna's skin kind of like the cow skin, you know what I mean? It's like black and white. What? It's big and it's black and white. It's fine, you know, it's like a moo cow.
Yeah, I know. I guess it looks like that, but I like the little indentation. Apparently Idemo on means here we go in Serbian, in case you wanted to know some Serbian. So.
Oh, thank you. I never knew that. What does AOC stand for? That's what NaVi have. Is that like a...
No idea.
Certain thing? No?
Awesome combat. That doesn't make any sense.
Oh my god, Ollie. Anyway.
I went for the C before
you did try. But still, the E100s giving them what they can here. NaVi down to 4, Kazna to 4. What do we make the lineup? Has it worked out? Are we going to see these kind of stacks coming through, or is it a little flawed?
Well, you can see at the beginning, at least, Kazna, when they had the forward momentum, they were doing well against NaVi. But as soon as NaVi could flank those E100s, that spelled danger for Kazna Crew, and now they're not necessarily winning. And you can see the bottom of that E100 is like super, super weak. Like a tier 8 can penetrate it pretty easily. And the front of that Type 5 Heavy doesn't have the same problem.
So it doesn't. See, Slide's just tucked himself in the corner, just grinning away, saying, "Alright, guys, come at me. I'll chill out here. You guys can just."
I love how it makes it look. The E100 looks small compared to Type 5 Heavy. I'm pretty sure they would have made it bigger if it actually fit into certain parts of the map.
It is true. It is massive if you compare it to anything else. And it's going blow for blow here. Strike will find Eurolfish, and even though Kazna did have the advantage for a small bit of time, NaVi's battleship that they beached into this map has come up with a good. And it's going to be Strike to close us down here. And Vetso gets destroyed.
Yeah, again, I think, you know, those E100s going forward is just an immovable object, immovable force, whatever you call it. And, you know, NaVi definitely struggled at the beginning, but once NaVi managed to get that bat chat around, you know, started flexing around the map, coming from every angle, the E100's turret reversed, you know, came a real factor. And, you know, a few other things about the E100, you know, being very slow, not being able to penetrate the front of that Type 5 was also a problem. But looking through the damage real quick, Sly did 4,000 damage, but I think he could do that with a tier 1. Straight did 4,000 as well, so, you know, that back check coming from behind. And Eurofish, you know, doing 4.4, the highest damage leader there, but Vetso was 2.4, the second highest damage leader for Kazna. So maybe some, you know, some problems with the lineups. I'm surprised they got so far with those E100s. I'm 100% sure, having talked to the guys yesterday, that they're picking them because of the way they look, not because they're effective.
100%. And to be fair, like, let's put yourself in their shoes. They don't want to give away anything. No. Like, this is going to be played in the online seasons. They don't want to give away what they've been working on, if they have been, if they've been starting to, you know, maybe think about theories and what sort of, you know, rosters, lineups, composition works. You don't want to start giving that away early, so the other teams can go, oh, okay, we've seen that in motion. Oh, okay. No, that's definitely not how this one works. They need to be smart about all this. And already NaVi just kind of depending on being NaVi more than anything. It's what it is.
Well, it's serious business as usual, NaVi, whereas I think Kazna Crew, You know,
Kazna, have fun. Are you serious?
Yeah, I think they're just here just for a bit of fun, to be honest.
I thought that's like most events for Kazna. Or is that just the ones they lose?
Some of the problems. Season 5 final, I think, is when they really took it seriously and they obviously won that one. But I mean, having said that, I think if they had made it to Season 1, you know, they were very close to make it to Season 1 finals. They got bested by Penta in that disastrous tiebreaker, or not even tiebreaker, 5-2 in the playoffs. I think they would have taken it seriously and they probably would have been able to win against Wombats, but yeah.
Maybe. You look at Kazna, they are the heartbreakers, bless them, but not in the good way either. It's you put your faith in them, and sometimes it's just like, oh god, what's happened? You gotta love them, but sometimes, my word, they toy your feelings. But the one thing I'm very excited about, you guys at home as well, is the analysis breakdown after this. Oh, they're just checking out is that Twitter, BK? Not sure. NaVi just chilling. I think they're waiting on Kazna here. Might as well go back to what are they looking at? What's on the screen? No, didn't want to show us that anymore. All right. Well, that's no fun. I was hoping I could see some Twitter, but no. No sliding to the DMs. All right, Kazna, hopefully they get ready. Like, how is this taking analysis? It's E100s. Like, you're stacking out one tank, guys.
Yeah.
If they've done that again.
No, they haven't done it again.
Okay, that's probably what the time was. They're really theory crafting, how they want to go about this. Very serious business. Or they just like to make me talk about show matches.
We love to hear you talk, Lauren.
You're a liar, Ollie. And you're a bad one at that.
I was touching wood, you know. Always got that on the DL. But I mean, we got FKK Schnitzel in the FE215B, the beast of the 183mm British tier 10 tank destroyer. It's got a Death Star gun. It can destroy worlds. It can blow your mind as well, and your tank. So I mean, I think if it connects and managed to penetrate through the front of a tank with Hesh, which I believe got nerfed at some point, it's going to be able to basically one-shot a tier 10. I've one-shot a few tier 10s in that as well. But if it doesn't, it's going to be only doing like 400 or 500 damage with Hesh, because it basically acts like HE if it doesn't penetrate. And then you got a couple of Waffentragers, amazing, unbelievable damage if you get all your shells out. And it looks like NaVi's gone for pretty much the same. Yeah.
So let's see how it goes. I'm not sure if they're just doing these, just test them out. Let's see how they go. And obviously both these teams won't be facing each other in their regular online league, so they can test as much as they want really in this sort of aspect and just give it a good try against a team they probably won't have to face until arguably the finals. If either of these teams make it there, you'd assume both would. But already first a little bit of damage done towards Elian, but aside from that, all very quiet.
Yeah, so we got a cap underway by the Batchat up north. Strike playing that one. He is like that guy who always plays the light tanks. He had like the VK2801 when it was tier 5, and he had the most insane damage, and he's just unbelievable in that one. Hyper gets a lot of damage towards him in the IS-7. You can see the Waffentrager just punishes you with that low aim down time if you do get caught out of position.
Yeah, and a lot of damage can be just going backwards and forwards. Look at that already, Rhino on the receiving end there. Stefan gets a bit back himself. God, these guys really, it's like heavyweights fighting at the moment. Schnitzel's going to get a little, but that cap does continue. Remember, NaVi are on the attack here. Kazna on the defense. And Isney getting 2 shots towards Strike. Oh,
he's so
almost
good.
Getting it.
He's an absolute beast when he plays. Slide has got himself into a pretty slippery situation on the side of that wall. I'm not sure if he can actually get out of that, and Elian might just be having a little bit of a laugh here.
Elian always helps.
And I'm not sure if Slide can actually have the gun depression to take down that IS-7.
I don't think he could in the end, and Slide got punished there by Stepan in the background. Elian's still alive somehow. Rhino gets held up, and Elian just staying alive. I don't know how this guy does it. He just seems to soak up shells, and Lashar does end up going down to the 1390.
Yeah, so this is finally going towards Kazna Crew's favor. 2,000 hit points ahead. A couple of tanks ahead as well. Reno also one shot going to head in towards Elian. Elian has a little bit of a field day. Reno goes down.
Yeah, Rhino.
Rhino.
Having a great time. And it looks like Kazna Crew actually might win one of these. I don't want to say anything just yet, but Kazna might not let us down at an offline event. First time in a while.
Ooh, FKK Schnitzel's being taught how to play. It's Brit versus Brit. I love it. That was a rhyme, by the way. But I think FKK Schnitzel's going to have it. Despite the DPM of that FE215B, it's the Brute that comes over the Brawn, and well, Inspire makes a bit of a mess of that one. Vetso with the AMX50B will surely be able to finish it. No, it's Stefan there, and the Waffentrager. And that'll be one at least for Kazna Crew.
Proud of them. Finally, Finally. That's right, guys, just 20 more minutes of show match to go. Not sure what to make of the performance thus far. It does seem as though just kind of a, if I've ever seen a death match in one of the tanks, it is this. It will be steps coming up next, just in case you guys at home have really put your bets down. You've thought very tactically about this. We looked up the previous match history whenever they've met. Thought about the win and loss ratio, their odds throughout the online seasons. Of course, I'd like to keep you informed. But Ollie, your opinion so far? If you're going to really in-depth analysis here, break it down as much as you want to. NaVi trashing Kazna. Is this what we expected?
I guess. I mean, I can't really make a prediction here because it's impossible. But
that's right. That's why I can't wait for the analysis test to try and make sense of this.
I would say that steps are going to be really interesting because we've got mines, which is kind of a fast map, but we only have the defensive side. You've got to play a little bit of a slower lineup because there's no way you can get on that hill before the attacking team in the north. So I think mines, you'll see a lot more light lineups with the bat chats.
That'll be quite fun.
Artillery could come out. 416's fast heavy tanks as well on the defensive side. You've always got to have something to defend the north as well from the defensive side. It's not like there's that many tier 8 tanks that are great camo value. I guess you got the MX-3090, a couple more, but yeah, you need to be making sure that northern cap is safe. You don't have like a tier 6 which has got great camo value like the 5916 or the MX-12T. So I think it's going to be interesting.
Okay, so a couple of options left available. NaVi leading the way thus far. I'm hoping we can get some which will be really good, like a telestrator, so Daki can really break down these tactics. Thinking like that. Nice, yeah. Maybe get Ruster involved and he can maybe find some excuses for Kazna's performance. So far, looking fairly quiet. Melly, super into this right now as well. She's having a great time. But you guys at home, of course, give us your feedback as well. We'd like to hear your thoughts on this game. And not just in Twitch chat, but Facebook, Twitter, all the usual ways. Do let us know how this feels. So obviously this is just a fun test of it all. It's nothing too serious. They are just having fun. Elian's not looking angry and throwing games yet, so you can tell it is just fun for Kazna. And NaVi aren't looking too serious either. So it's just a test of this one. These guys just kind of getting used to the feel of it. Don't want to give anything away before the online seasons. Want to keep everything kind of under their hat, up their sleeve, whatever analogy you'd like to use, as we'll be going back into this. And we can have a little look, see what they're testing out now. What have we got to come out?
So artillery from Levshar again, 263, the highest DPM tank in the game. Jagdpanzer E100, 430, very fast, 140, very fast. And T110 E5, great hull down, great all-rounder. That's for the side of NaVi. MX-3090 for that spot up north, I guess. And then just a mixture of medium tanks, the SDV-1, the best damage per minute of any medium tank in the game. E50, just great ramming tank. MX-30B, MX-50B damage, and IS-7, just a good all-rounder. Again, great hull down. So a mixture of everything for both teams.
All right, so those steps fairly well. Kazna, not their patented east side push, but Slide's going to be on the receiving end. Not got much of a chance to use selected choice, as he is now a one-shot. Stefan's going to pick that up real nice and easy. And it looks like so far Kazna are kind of playing this out to a fairly aggressive style, but still to a fairly normal style of what we've seen to steps.
Yeah, so Stefan's down on the reload in the 50B, so they have to be careful, Kazna crew. They're going to go too aggressive, but that's the second kill now. Anatolik going down to 140, but Yizny gets taken down by a massive shot from the Jagdpanzer. That is a beast of a gun, 1,100 damage, and it just goes through absolutely everything like knife through butter.
Yeah, hot knife through butter at this rate as well. Lining up the second once he does get that shell ready to be delivered. Cresting the hill, waiting for it, going to be delivering right about now. Gets the connection, beautiful damage done. Going to set that up well for his teammates. You can see the damage coming towards Kazna. They had the upper hand. They had everything going for them. Now, Rhino already starting to tip things in towards NaVi's hands. Look at the HP, 3k to 5. Not looking so good for Kazna. Hybra as well, going to be stuck in that sort of depressed ground as now Vetso and Elian, the last two alive.
Yeah, that great little shot there onto the back of the E50 of Hybrid. It's very, very easy to do indeed, and you'll see Elian go down. it's just unbelievably short shell travel time from the Akpan. So if anyone's played the Yagtai, it's very similar to that. It goes from A to B like speed of light. It's insane. Vetso in the STB1 trying to do as much as he can, but you know, heat ammo just not going through the front of Reno, and he's the last man remaining. And yeah, too much to do, I guess. Yeah,
Vetso is, you know, 1v4 is hard enough at times, let alone when you add this sort of caliber of tank, this sort of HP, this sort of power. And Rhino's just going to be staring him down. He knows it's a matter of time. Vetso already expending that shell. As Strike going to be moving in for the kill here as well. Not going to land the shot though. The STB1 will live to fight another day. Lines up the shot, doesn't get it, and he will go down. Decimated in the end by NaVi. And they look just as strong as ever. Pick up another round.
Yeah, NaVi just taking it a little bit more seriously, I believe, than Kazna crew in that one.
Yeah, it was. Kazna looked like,
NaVi went pushing, like,
you
had Reno at the end, who was almost 5,400 HP, and he wasn't pushing in. It's like,
come on, buddy.
Come on, man, you can push it, let's be honest.
NaVi forever serious.
Yeah, but yeah, NaVi obviously picking up another win, I think. To be fair, I mean, they lost so badly today, I would be wanting to get every single win in the bag I possibly could.
You might as well. It's just a very short, you know, trip for Kazna. They won one round, was it, or two?
Yeah, one.
One round. But, you know, I'm hoping when it gets to the online phase, they can win more than that. I hope, at least. I'd assume they can.
Yeah, I would as well. But, I mean, just, you know, having a look at the format overall.
It looks good. I'm not going to lie.
I mean, I love the variation and, you know, having a whole new set of tanks. We've had, you know, 7 tier 8 tanks for just the beginning, basically. Yeah. So it's going to be a real big challenge for all the teams to get used to it. I mean, we have plenty of maps that have come and gone throughout the league. And all the teams are always like, oh, we have to learn new maps so hard. It's like one of the reasons why Himmelsdorf, Steps, and Ruhenberg have been played so much in the previous season. Because they haven't had played with the anyone, so that, you know, they have to learn new maps. But new tanks is just a completely different hurdle to overcome.
Well, this is the thing. It kind of resets the playing field to a degree, I guess, you know, to a very small margin. Now, every one of these players adores this game. That's the big thing here. You know, they may be seen as competitive players at core, and you see them as, you know, almost the athletes of the sport. But they are still, you know, at one point a casual player. They did enjoy, you know, grinding through the game itself, getting towards that kind of end game sort of aspect, and once they got there, of course they enjoyed the game. So it's great to finally see how far their experience is going to go. If anyone still, you know, enjoyed playing that, or do they purely focus towards esports? Is that going to then, you know, hinder them a little adapting? But it basically opens up the floodgates to newer teams, basically, you know, being able to catch up and play a little bit different. And as you said, with so many kind of variations out there with these tank choices and the kind of extremes that we see, whether it be, you know, you get such a powerful, or, you know, you can see these very unique compositions, we're going to see some very unique lineups and some very unique strategies coming out. And I'm actually very excited to see that.
I'm super excited. I mean, again, it's going to be something totally new. We get to learn a little bit more about the rules and how exactly the format will play out further down the line as we get towards Season 2, and, you know, obviously when Season 2 also gets released. So a lot to look forward to. I think it's about time that we had a format change to this degree, and, you know, add that to attack defense. I think it's going to be fantastic.
I'm really excited to find out more about this. Of course, this is just a bit of fun. We just wanted to see how it play out on the stage, and might as well make the most of NaVi while they're here. And speaking of NaVi and the boys on the stage, let's head back over there.
Thank you so much, Lauren. Big words before we started. How do you feel now? You said it was a good match.
Yeah, it's actually really interesting mods, and you can do many interesting strategies, so I'm actually looking forward to playing it in next season.
Now, for you, did you enjoy that?
Yes, it was a great match. It was really funny, and we have a lot of tanks. So it's a really funny match.
Excellent. Now, I have to ask you guys, although this was obviously for fun, coming up we do have something quite serious, so I need to get you to answer the question. Your choice in the finals, Tornadoes or Wombat?
It's whoever wins is gonna be interesting match. I don't know. I would give 51% for Tornado.
51% on this side. Have to ask you too, sir.
I think that the Wombats would win, but I don't know why. But I think that Wombats is better.
There you go. It's split right here. I'm sure that's lots of fodder for you guys over the analyst desk to sort out. For right now, we say thank you very much to both of our teams. A round of applause again. And right back over to you.
Thank you, Sean. Now, I think I just hand over to the married couple to my left and let them duke it out. Why not? Because I saw big tanks shooting other big tanks, and I recognized about half the name of the tanks. I very much play tier 8s, and I haven't got that many tier 10s. I know the IS-4 and the IS-7.
I just want to point out that I was right. I was just right, just completely right. Like the tanks I said, they all played them. I mean, they started off on mines, and what did they break? T-54s. What did I say? They break T-54s. They brought T-62As, also said at IS-7, and then the M40. I don't want to say that I'm a genius, but if you want advice, I'll put my phone number on the bottom.
I think you were right in terms of that they bring tier 8 RT. I think the new meta will be a tier 8 RT on open maps. I think you are wrong to say that there will be higher RT than tier 8. I think that's kind of useless.
M53 maybe.
No, I think tier 8 is like the only RT that you can really use.
M53 and T-54 would still work. I mean, if you do want to bring RT after all.
No, not really. But yeah, you're also right. T-54 with heat can be useful, although I think that the T-62A or 140 is a lot more useful because of the additional HP.
It's just so you have 2 tier 9, so you don't have to play with a tier 8 RT. Like if you just want to go for
but I think the difference isn't that great, like between the RTs.
Well,
like
T-54 with heat, like the reload is insanely low as well. It has a high TPM as well. If it gets into a medium fight, it can just do the same as the T-62A. It just has to play a little bit more careful because of the HP.
Yeah, well, one thing I was right about, I think, was that E100 is a really good tank for this format. Like,
didn't Kazna lose with their 6100s?
Yes, they actually lost, but they grouped up with 5 E100s, I think, and they just pushed. Like, E100 is a good tank if you just want to push forward. You have a huge alpha damage. Like, there was one tank that he died in like 5 seconds, 4 shots, and he died.
Like
I think Kazna crew should have actually won that match. Like, they fucked up on some other things afterwards, but the tactic itself with that E100s was really good, and I think we'll also see that quite a lot. I mean, you can take 6 E100s and you just push on some
The issue
lane.
is like E3s and stuff. Like if you have an E100 against an E3, that's an annoying match because E3 it bounces just everywhere. Even on the underplate, it bounces off. It's like E3 is monster race, just monster race. You sit there, and I can already imagine Slide sit there in an E3, just shooting people like, this is fun, this is fun.
Right, well, I guess we can interrupt there, because I think we have some more millions of gold to give away.
Exactly, 10,000 gold goes to... Boxing Boom!
Wait, say that again?
Boxing Boom.
Boxing Boom.
Boxing.
Boxing.
Boxing_boom. 10,000 gold for you. Congratulations, buddy. And it's almost time for the next winner. For
after the break, we can.
Of course. We'll take our time.
Take our time. No, did anyone even remotely get the right?
No. It was 69% for Kazna crew, like all the way through, which didn't happen.
No.
I hope for it as well. At least. But 4-1, actually, no one got right.
You know, we didn't actually have to reset, did we?
Everything.
In the end.
Huh?
It was 5 matches, but it wasn't a best of 5. That was the problem.
Exactly. But
still 5 matches.
We had a lot of...
Because then it would have been 4-0, and somebody would have been right.
Oh, there is someone right, actually.
Oh, there is?
Yeah.
Really?
Well, there you go. Someone got it right. 4-1 was a good guess. I thought it would only be 4 battles, but it was 5. But only one person?
No, 8.
Oh, 8 people got it right. Wow. Congratulations, those 8 people. But anyway, enough of us talking. Let's get ready for the finals. Now, we had a bit of an upset. NaVi are not there, but we've seen enough of NaVi. So now Tornado Rocks goes against the ex-Virtus Pro Wombats just after this break. Don't go anywhere.